Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We are doing our second class from the Medina Arabic course, book 1 tonight, inshallah. Last week we had done just the first page of this particular book, which was page 5, as you can see from the picture here above. We had learned the usage of the singular directive masculine directive pronoun, at least the word hadha, which means this, which is used for one man or for one singular masculine object. As I had explained, all things in Arabic are either masculine or feminine. There's no neuter gender. So every item, if it's a car, it's either a man or a woman. And it cannot be one occasion a man and one, or at least male, and one occasion female. Each word, every noun is either male or it's female. You know, it's in English at least, cars are generally understood to be feminine, even though there's no particular sign on it to say that it's feminine, but that's generally the way that it's understood that the car is feminine. In Arabic, you will see from the word car itself that it is feminine. The word itself will point out what it is as far as its gender is concerned. As for what those signs are, it's something we will learn in due course. So, but since we are taking the book from a structured perspective, we're not jumping all over the place. So therefore, those questions will be answered when we reach there, inshallah. But for now, we're focusing on what we are currently doing. So we did the usage of the word hava, and we had done 9 words, vocabulary words. Baytun, a house. Masjidun, a masjid. Babun, a door. Kitabun, a book. Qalamun, a pen. Miftahun, a key. Maktabun, a desk. Sarirun, a bed. And kursiyun, which is a chair. Those were our vocab words that we had done. So if you have been following the lesson, if you've been doing your homework as you were supposed to, then you would have taken your notebook and jotted down those 9 vocab words in Arabic to the best of your capability, specifically the transliteration, in a way that you are able to pronounce it. You know, it's no point if I write out the transliteration for you and I write, for example, Baytun is B-A-Y-T-U-N, and then you come and you read B-A-Y-T-U-N and you can't pronounce it the same way. But because for you, maybe you write it B-A-I-T-O-E-N, for example. What I'm just trying to say is your transliteration should be, what a transliteration is a means for you to be able to pronounce a word from another language in the correct manner. So if you are spelling it in a different manner, provided that at the end of the day you are pronouncing the word right, then I've got no problem with your transliteration. As long, you know, there are many transliteration systems in existence. Some people, especially in Arabic, from Arab backgrounds, you may find it. Some people who have lived through the ages, like some of us, you may have come across where they would write a word and they'll use a 3, the digit 3. They'd use it in the transliteration. Why? The 3 for them denotes the letter Ain. So if they want to write alaykum, for example, assalamu alaikum, then alaykum, they would write 3 Lay, like that. The 3 points out an ain. So that's a transliteration system. And there are many different forms of to this. Some people may put an apostrophe, a reverse type, you know, all these type of different symbols people use. So your particular method, I have no problem with it. As long as your method of transliteration at the end of the day allows you to translate, or at least to pronounce the word in the correct manner. That's all that we are really wanting. And of course, the English translation, because that's what you are needing to know. If you see a word, when you come across it next time, you need to know what it means. That's basically what we had done in our first lesson. So if you were following along and you did your exercises, then this is where you will be currently sitting. And this is where we begin our next lesson, tonight's lesson, inshallah, on this point, which is our second page as far as the lessons are concerned. But if you look at the book number over here, it's page number 6 as far as the Medina Arabic book course 1 is concerned. So this is where we begin tonight. Bismillah walhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa man wala. So the title of today's class is Ma Hadha. We did the word Hadha, now we are just adding the word Ma to it. As you could see before, we use Hadha, finish, end of story. But Ma Hadha with a question mark, which shows you that the word Ma Even though there are many different types of ma in Arabic, we're not going to jump and go to that extreme and depth of the language yet. Let's focus on what we are doing. So ma hada means what is this? So use the word ma going forward only in the context as you have learned it here now, that ma hada, what is this? Like I said, there are many different types, and the sentences will change accordingly. Sometimes you are using it as in a negative form, sometimes you're using it as a question. So, but to understand the difference between the two may be a bit complicated for now. So that's why I say we're not going to jump into that. So when you're using the word ma going forward, keep it in this particular context. You may have come across the word ma many times in the Quran. It's not every time used in this context. Like I say, there are many different types of ma, and those other types are referred to, or at least are used in the Quran as well. So let's do this lesson for now. So ma hadha means what is this? Once again, remember hadha being the singular masculine directive pronoun. So now we've got the word. The question at least is posed. Ma hadha. What is this? And the reply given is hadha baytun. This is a house. Then he poses the question again. Ahadha baytun. Ahadha baytun. The letter alif, it's known as alif istifham. The alif of istifham, which means an alif which poses a question. So, ahadha baytun. Ahadha rajulun. Ahadha kalbun. Ahadha qittun. Ahadha sarirun. Everything you can use the word since all these nouns are masculine. Ahadha baytun, ahadha kalbun, ahadha masjidun, everything, same thing. Is this a man? Is this a masjid? Is this a pen? Now you look at the 9 vocab words which we did previously, which I will scroll up on the page and you can see them again once more. So you've got baytun. Ahadha baytun. Ahadha masjidun. Ahadha babun. Ahadha kitabun. Ahadha qalamun. Ahadha miftahun. Ahadha maktabun. Ahadha sarirun. Ahadha kursiyun. As you see, all exactly the same. You are following, just adding the onto the word hadha and posing your question. And of course, your noun is changing. So, ahadha baytun, is this a house? And the reply then given is na'am, hadha baytun. Yes, this is a house. Now, you write this down. Like, let me just see. Does he bring the word? Okay, yeah. Let me not jump the gun. I'll explain it shortly in a moment. So, na'am, yes. Na'am means yes. So that's one word you'll be using throughout the rest of your life in Arabic. Yes and no. So that's one word that is important to memorize. Na'am, yes. Hada baytun. This is a house. Then he shows you a picture and he says, Ma hada, what is this? The reply given is, Hada qamisun. This is a qamis. It is a shirt. The picture that he shows over there is of a shirt. So therefore, this is a shirt. Now, I translated it as shirt on account of the picture which has been used. But the word qamis obviously have got multiple meanings. If you are from an Indo-Pak subcontinent background, then you may have heard of a shalwar kameez to put it that way. But shalwar and a kameez here is a qamis. So it is a pants and a upper garment. You may have seen in Arabic a qamis, that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to love wearing a qamis. Qamis here doesn't mean a shirt, wearing a Mandela shirt or some black rose shirt, or all of these type of cotton shirts and silk shirts. It don't refer to that. It refers to what we term in today's time a kurta in Urdu. That is what is known as a qamis as well. So qamis would mean a kurta, and qamis would mean a shirt. The word is used interchangeably. Or at least I should say, qamis originally was of a long kurta type, not long kurta as in Saudi long kurta, but a long shirt, to put it in that sense. And qamis being used for a short shirt, the Western style shirt, is a modern version that the word is used as. So traditionally, it was for a long garment. Modern way, it's used for a short shirt. But anyhow, keep that in your vocab, that the word qamis means a shirt. or a kurta. You can translate him either way, both ways will be fine. So هذا قميص, this is a shirt. Then he poses the question, أهذا سرير, is this a bed? سرير, and this is where you see the importance of learning everything that we have done. So we've passed our first lesson by. We've left those words behind. He's introduced it immediately into the lesson. So what this it denotes is, number one, you need to know we did the word sarirun. What does sarirun mean? If you now I don't know, I'm not sure, then you're gonna have to go back and look, because he asks you ahada sarirun. So if you don't know what sarirun is, you're not going to be able to translate the sentence over here, which is by all intents and purposes, from what you have learned, you should be able to translate the sentence yourself, because we've done the word we've done the word hada, we've done the word sarirun, we've done this version of how a sentence is formed. So there's nothing essentially in this sentence which is new. So therefore, for you to be able to translate the sentence should be child's play. I mean, you've got all the tools at your disposal. It's just a matter of using it correctly. Obviously, if you're going to try chopping in a nail with a screwdriver, you're going to be using your tools incorrectly. So here we've got ahada sarirun, and you see the importance. If you knew your vocab, you would know that sarirun means a bed. Now you're looking at the picture on the left, and it's of a chair. So you know, okay, obviously this is not the thing they're asking about is of a chair, and sarirun don't mean a chair. So you would obviously, the obvious reply would be la, no, hada kursiyun. No, this is a chair. Now, I want you to look at one point over here. I made mention last week that this book, there are many prints, editions of this book. The 1990 print and then the 2000 print, and every time the publishers bring out a new version, pick up certain mistakes, correct others, and stuff like this here. So there are a number of typos in this book itself. So I want you to look at this word over here, kursiyun. If you remember me pronouncing it in the lesson last week, as well as how I pronounce it here now, and you see the word as is written in the sentence, but then look at the one which is written on the very first page. If you were to look here on the first page, hada kursiyun, if you will see the word itself, because there is no tashdid, the shadda is missing from the ya, but that is a typo. So therefore, if you were reading it according to the typo, you would be saying hada kursiyun. Now, if I were to translate or transliterate it, kursiyun, K-U-R, S-I-Y-U-N, kursiyun, like that. But with the shadda on it, kursiyun, I would spell it with a double Y. Kursiyun, in that manner. So when you are reading the word, you won't say ahada kursiyun. You'd say ahada kursiyun, or hada kursiyun, la hada kursiyun, na'am hada kursiyun, kursiyun. That shadda is that is missing on the first page was a typo. So that is why I said during the class, the way that I pronounce it, you may find a slight difference to what is written in the book. More often than not, it will be due to a typo in the book itself. If I happen to slip up and make a mistake from my side, by all means, do correct me. But in this case here, at least, it is a typo in the book. Like I say, the newer prints, this mistake has been corrected. But as the book is here right now, the print that we are currently using, this typo is there. So no, this is a chair. Now here we have done two important words in this lesson, the usage of the word na'am, which means yes, and the usage of the word la, which means no. So you see he's posing question and answer type the sentences over here. So you can use the vocab which we currently have, and you've had the addition of the word qamisun, and one additional word here which you'll do at the end of the page to add to your vocab, because we didn't have qamisun on these 9 words here. So qamisun itself has already given you 10 words in your vocab, and this last word here will make you your 11th word, but like I say, we haven't reached there just yet. So la hada kursiyun, no, this is a chair. So it's not a bed, it's a chair. So your verbs are your qamisun and sarirun and miftahun and them, and na'am and la, they're not verbs obviously, because they don't change and modify the way qamisun and kursiyun and them go. But anyway, So you've got those two important words. If somebody asks you something and you want to say yes, you'll say na'am. If somebody asks you something and you want to say no, you say la. Or you want to prevent someone or you negate something, la, 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 emphasizing it like this. So na'am and la are two words you're going to be using at all times in your Arabic life. So they're important to memorize and swat off right now off the bat. Moving on, he says, Ahada miftahun. He shows you a picture of a pen on the side and he asks, Ahada miftahun. So again, once more, you see the importance of having memorized the lesson or the vocab at least. So he asks you, is this a miftah? What is a miftah? Miftah we did in our previous lesson, which means miftahun, a key. So ahada miftahun, is this a key? Now, if you didn't know your vocab, you won't know how to translate miftah as. So ahada miftahun, is this a key? And the reply which he gives is la. Hada qalamun. No, this is a pen. In other words, it's not a key, it is a pen. And then we do our last word, our last sentence for the class. We'll stop on this point here, inshallah, because the next page is an exercise, or maybe we can squeeze this in, or rather, let's stop on this point and we can do the next two exercises as one particular single lesson. So we're using doing our last sentence on page 6, our second lesson of the Medina Arabic course, book 1, and he says, Ma hadha, what is this? And the reply, if you look at the picture on the side, it's pretty much clear what it is. So we say, Hada najmun. Hada najmun, this is a star. So this is your 11th vocab word to add to your list, najmun, which is a star. Now, you've read the Quran, you've come across Surah An-Najm, and this, you see, this is how it is. Like I explained Arabic as you can think of it as, well, you have those 5,000 piece white puzzles, difficult puzzles, even though Arabic is not exactly a white puzzle, sometimes it's a lot easier. But anyway, now you are seeing this puzzle here. Now, little by little, pieces are starting to fall into place. So you've read the Quran, you do know at least وَالنَّجْمِ إِذَا هَوَى مَا ضَلَّ صَاحِبُكُمْ وَمَا غَوَى. You've read the Surah An-Najm. That's where this word, you've come across it. So you've read in a hadith, مِفْتَاحُ الْجَنَّةِ الصَّلَاةِ وَمِفْتَاحُ الصَّلَاةِ الْوُضُوءِ. The key to Jannah is Salah and the key to Salah is Wudu. So you've done the word miftah. You've read Ayatul Kursi. وَسِعَ كُرْسِيُّهُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. The kursi encompasses the heavens and the earth. So you've done the word kursi. You've done the word, or at least you know the word miftah from the hadith. You've done the word najm from the Quran. So little by little, things start to fall into place and you start to see things that you do know. That in the back of your mind, in your subconscious, without you even realizing it, you do know these words, or at least your mind tells you, I have heard this somewhere before. And then you come to know, oh, I do know that word, and this is what it means. And then you start to see a picture start to form, and things start to make sense, and you are able to grow your sentences and your understanding of the language accordingly. So, هذا نجم, this is a star. That's the end of the 6th page, and it is the end of our class for tonight, inshallah. If anybody has any questions, by all means, you are free to send in your questions. Like I say, we're doing it at a slower pace. I want it to be at a pace which is easy for everybody to follow along. If you have done it before, it's a revision for you. If you've not done it before, we're doing it at a pace that is slow enough for anybody to be able to follow along. And if you find I'm speaking too fast or I'm speaking confusing or I'm not clarifying things enough, then point it out. I mean, there's the only thing that can come from it is that we all can benefit from it. Maybe I'm speaking too fast. Some people find that I speak quite fast. Other people feel I speak a little bit slow. So, if you feel I'm speaking a bit too fast, let me know. I can slow down a little bit. Maybe other people also feel that I'm speaking fast, but they are shy to point out that, you know what, you're speaking a bit too fast, or that I'm not clarifying things enough, or whatever the case may be, or maybe I'm making a mistake with a certain English definition that I'm using incorrectly. By all means, you correct me where I am wrong so that we all can grow our language accordingly. But other than that, with that being that, we will stop on this point here for tonight, inshallah. I have not seen any questions come in. So I assume that means that there are no questions because the lesson is quite simple and straightforward. So on this point here, inshallah, we end. Next week, like I say, keep up with your notebook. You only got this handful of words. You did the word qamisun, you did the word najmun, which are your nouns to add to your noun list. And of course, you throw in the word na'am and the word la, yes and no, so that you have these words in your vocab as well. And the reason why I say it's important, and I always stress on the importance of this, at least with this Medina Arabic course book, is that the minute we learn something, immediately in the next lesson, that lesson gets brought into play. So I urge you 100 times over, is too little for me to emphasize it, that if anything don't make sense, if anything needs more clarification, if anything needs the slightest bit of further explanation, ask. Ask and ask again. I have no problem. I say you can ask 100 questions a night. It doesn't bother me, not in the least. So don't let that the class move on and you feel, okay, no, I'm shy to ask the question and stuff, and then 2 lessons down the line you're stuck because now things are not making sense anymore. So if anytime anything you may feel it is a silly question, there's no question which is silly. Ask it so that you can know that what you are understanding is correct, and so that we can move on in a proper manner. Because you will see, we all benefit at the end of the day. Your question may seem silly to you, but maybe that same question has crossed the mind of somebody else. And through you asking the question, they can learn and benefit and grow their uh, Arabic as well. So I urge you, don't be shy. If you have any questions, ask it as many times as you need. If I explain it and you feel it's still not clear, you ask again and again and again and again until you know I understand it fully. That's what we are wanting. We are here not to run through the pages. I mean, if we wanted to simply add pages to the list, I could have done 20 pages on the first night, which we are not wanting to do. We are wanting that we go through this book to get an understanding of the language, to be able to read and understand the Quran. This is what we are getting at. This is our goal that we have in mind. We are currently at the end of August. At the end of December, we've got September, October, November, December. So to say 4 months. We're doing 4 classes a month, basically, since it's 1 class a week. So you add it 4 times 4, that's the amount of classes maximum that we will be doing. Okay, some you may find 5 Wednesdays, but anyhow, that's basically the amount of classes we'll have. So we'll pass a number of classes. At the end of the year, we want to have reached a certain point where we are able to read. If you look at what we are doing here now, we are doing essentially 2 word sentences. Ma hada. Hada najmun. As you notice, as we move further, we'll move 3 word sentences, 4 word sentences, 5 word sentences. So we want to reach a point at the end of the year where you can look back at your year. Okay, basically we in Muharram right now, so it's our real year. But anyhow, since people tend to work it from the Gregorian calendar, so at least you can look back and you say, we started in August with these classes. It's now the December. I can look back from where this is what I knew before, this is what I know now. I see the effect and the difference in what I have learned. Then you know it gives you courage and it makes you feel I am learning something, I want to continue on. But if you're going through the motions and stuff like this here, at the end of the year you feel I don't see any difference from where I was to where I am today, then it disheartens a person and you end up giving up. So we don't want that to happen. So ask your questions and ask your questions and ask your questions and do the exercises and the homework. Like I said, I'm not some tyrant over here trying to force everybody to take your nights up and stuff and do the homework. But you have 1 week from the time of this class until next week's class, which is enough for you to look over it. Jot down those little words that are your vocab, just so that you know you are growing your language. When we come across a word, as we grow, we'll do a lot more pages of the book. Obviously, you may not remember where that particular word was used. Now we come across the word, let's say, for example, sayyaratun. Now, which page is it? We've done 45 pages of the book. Now you must scratch through the book. Where was the word sayyaratun used? Maybe you can find a picture for it. Why? You've got the vocab book which you wrote down. You scroll down your page. Okay, yes, sayyaratun. Sayyaratun means a car. it makes it 100 times easier. So I don't give these advices just all willy-nilly for no reason at all. If you do it, inshallah, you will see the benefit of it, and it will help you in the long run. So I've digressed. I've spoken a lot. We 25 minutes into a class which should have ended possibly about 10 minutes ago, and we have not received any questions. So that means that everybody, hopefully, inshallah, have understood the lesson. So on this point, inshallah, we end our lesson. We, like I always say, every week and every day, basically, that the what you call these things, the links of the classes, the same link that was used for tonight will be reused again next week, same time, 9 p.m. South African time, 8 p.m. UK time, British summer time. So you keep this link for next week's Arabic class, and the link which will be used for tomorrow will be for tomorrow's class. And that's basically how we go along in this manner. Okay, question over here. If a person identifies as gender neutral, are there words for that? Not as far as Arabic is concerned. I mean, even if you look at it from an English perspective, a gender neutral is what? We have he, we have she, and we've got it. Up till now, they say there's something like 36 genders, according to the modern version of the genders. There's male and female, and gender fluid, and this and this and this, and all these 36 genders in total, if they've not added already more to it. So he for a male, she for a female. What are the other words used for the remainder of the other 34? There is none. So even English doesn't have the words for these things because it is abnormalities. It is weird things. Now they must make up something. And, either if you are transsexual, where do you fit in? If you're a transformer, what must we call you? It, he, she, she. There's no word for it. So English, the language where these terms originated from, don't have scope and a place for it. So Arabic, بطريق الأولى, on a higher degree, don't have space or words at least for these sort of things. Okay, some people use the word they, uh, use the word for they even though it is not singular. Now, you see, this is now where people have been making things up because for the reason is that there is nothing. So they try and use it in the sense that they is used both for male and for female, plural. So therefore, you can't exactly pin it down to a gender. They had done it, all those women. They had done it, all those men. But they is not the same as using it for gender fluid. It denotes plural. So which plural are we talking about here? So it is a mangling, or it is destroying the English language to take the word they and apply it to transformers and to all these type of people that have destroyed the genders that Allah has created. So as far as they is concerned from an English perspective, these people may use the term themselves, like they have fraudulently stolen the rainbow which Allah has created and made it into some gay symbol. They may use it, doesn't mean that it fits for them. In a like manner, you may take the word, for example, ulaika, which is an Arabic plural, but unlike in English, there is multiple plurals, masculine plurals, feminine plurals in Arabic. So, you're going to be stuck a bit when you come to try and use the word they in an Arabic context, because which they are you going to use? At the end of the day, in Arabic, they denotes gender. There is no word which does not denote gender. So you'll be stuck from an Arabic perspective to find some word which can be used for homosexuals of this nature. And Allah knows best. And well, since we have gone on now for just about 29 minutes, we are on 9:30, 9:30 p.m. South African time, and we have no further questions, and we are on the end of page 6, so we will stop on this page here, inshallah. Next week, we start from the top of the 7th page of the Medina Arabic Course Book 1, where we will be doing some exercises. So I hope at least we can have the class a little bit interactive next time, because I want to be able to ask a question. As you would see from the exercise of here, if you do have the book, and you are looking at this page, which I am looking at and currently sharing on this through this Zoom class, so you can see the pictures and you'll see the question which is being posed. So you must be able to give the Arabic word for the pictures that are here on the left. So I hope that we can do the class and I can ask a question and there'll be somebody who will be able to answer it. And not that I'll ask the question and I'll sit, fold my hands and twiddle my thumbs and there'll be nobody to respond and answer. So I hope we don't end up in a situation like that. We want to see that, we are all understanding and growing in our Arabic, and not that we are just simply going through the motions and taking out half an hour of our time to sit here and, just sit basically. Anyhow, we're stopping on this point here, inshallah. Next week we'll continue on from this point, and it will be an exercise. First time that you'll be bringing something from your end. But that will be that. Until then, we end for now. وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على نبينا محمد سبحان الله وبحمده سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.